Hi guys, this is Carlin Liborio, and I am going to show you a video of the new question types that will be on the new 2022-2023 STAAR Test. So I will link this document that is on TEA's website. I'm going to skip the ones that do not apply to third through fifth grade. There are some. You'll see text entry, and it will tell you, for example, the grade level. So this one, for example, it can be seen on RLA tests in grades 6 through 8. And then it'll tell you the question type. It'll show you what it looks like. And that one is basically the text entry where they would type an answer in the box. But that one is only going to be 6th grade to 8th grade. Okay, so since I teach 4th grade, but this video is really for all students. So I'm going to show you one that is on 3rd to 5th grade. This is called hot text. So it gives you a description. The student cites evidence by selecting highlighted text in a sentence, paragraph, or extended reading. So these are worth 1 point, but they can be worth 2 points if they're asking them to select more than one piece of hot text. So this is what the question would look like. This is a grade 3 example. So it would ask which line best shows that the speaker stays close to the pants even when he's not wearing them. Select the correct answer. So there's 4 possible answers, and you would click on the sentence that matches that question. Here's another example of hot text. It's kind of like multiple choice, but you click the actual sentence. And then more examples of hot text. Where you click on the actual lines from the play. Okay, multipart. Multipart could be a 2-point question where you have to answer part A is usually the question, part B is the evidence, or explaining their thinking. So these are worth 2 points. You can still receive 1 point if you have a partially correct response. So if you get part A right, then you can still get 1 point. So this example is from the grade 5 sampler, and it'll say part A, and it'll have a multiple choice question. And then part B, which lines from the poem support the answer to part A? So that's basically your text evidence is part B. So they call this multi-part. I like to call it part A, part B. Here's another example. Match table grid is only grades 8. Grades 8 and up. So I'm going to show you that, but just keep in mind that the younger ones will not have to do this, but I have seen this on IXL and Progress Learning. They are starting to add this question type in, but the younger kids will not have this, luckily. Match table grid. Okay, multi-select. These are worth 2 points. You can still get 1 point if it's partially correct, and this is basically all the grades, 3 and up. So these are the ones where you have to select 2 correct answers. So if you select 1 correct answer, you will get 1 point, but you have to select both correct answers and get it right in order to get the 2 points for that question. So these are all select 2. Okay, short constructed response reading is also worth 2 points. So it's worth the same amount of points as part A, part B, and it's the same as multi-select. So with these, you're basically answering, it's kind of like part A and part B because you're answering a question in one sentence and then you're giving evidence in the second sentence. So if you do that correctly, you'll get 2 points and it'll look like this. To obtain full credit, you have to correctly explain why the rat uses the cactus to build its nest using supporting evidence. To obtain partial credit, the student will correctly explain without using the evidence from the article, or the student will cite without the correct answer. So according to this, if you cite correctly, you get 1 point. If you answer the question correctly, you get 1 point. You get a 0 if the answer is not right, it's not based on the passage, or it's missing. Here's another example of what a short constructed response would look like. It always has a question, and then it'll always say, support your answer with the evidence from the article, and it'll have a box. More examples. Okay, this one is called short constructed response writing, or I like to call it short constructed response revising. These are only worth 1 point, as you can see. And basically, this is grades 3 and up. So here is an example. Combining sentences 4 and 5 in a clear and effective way. It's basically revising. And they have to compose a complete sentence that combines the ideas in a clear and effective way. 0 if it does not combine the ideas in a clear and effective way. So here's an example of a student that got the point. And it'll use that wording clear and effective way, and it'll have a box. Sentence 8 repeats information in the space provided. Rewrite sentence 8 in a clear and effective way. And this is an example of one that got full credit. Okay, inline choice. I like to call this drop down, but it does tell you that in the description that it is worth 1 point, and this is 3rd grade and up. And the inline choice is basically a drop down menu. I think it's easier for students to understand drop downs. That's why I call it that. But it's a drop down menu and they have to choose the correct one. I've seen them do this with editing and revising. So this one is editing because it's a spelling mistake. Sometimes it could be a transition word, which would be revising. Here's another example of the drop-down menu. And when the drop-down menu prints on paper, what it does is it kind of shows all the choices, almost like a multiple choice, but it puts each word in the sentence. So that's how you can tell that it's a drop-down. They sometimes have phrases as well. This would be more like a revising. Okay, and then extended constructed response is worth 5 points, graded by 2 people, is worth 10 points total on the test. And this is grades 3 and up. And this is what it will look like. Looks totally different from the other question types we've seen so far. It'll say explain, and then it'll say write a well-organized informational essay, or it might say composition that uses specific evidence to support your answer. And then it'll have reminders and it'll have these bullet points. So if you see these bullet points and you see write an informational or an argumentative composition or essay, and then you see the box, that is your ding, 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 big red flag that is your essay. That is your extended constructed response. So it's just telling you about the points, teachers will use a rubric, and that is it. That is all the different question types. So I will link this document that is on TEA's website in the description for this video. And I hope this helps you to understand all of the new question types. Have a great day. Bye.